be asking the friends from the press to ask your questions. Today we are very honored to have with us many delegates from all walks of life. And please identify your affiliations before raising a question and to whom the question is addressed. And please be brief and in the interest of time. So we have the first group of delegates with us now. We see some familiar faces, and please give a self-introduction to yourselves. So, Mr. Zhu Youyong. Hello, everyone. My name is Zhu Youyong. I am assigned by the CAE to Lancang County of Yunnan Province as a technological specialist. And the Lancang County is at the southwest region of China and used to be a poverty-stricken areas. And since 2015, I became part of this poverty alleviation effort, and I work in the different fields, and these fields are actually my labs. I help them to raise potatoes and Chinese traditional medicines, and we also open up training courses to teach the farmers of the new technologies. Hello everyone, I am Wang Yaping. Today is October the 16th, a very special day for me. Last year on the same day, I and my teammates were setting off to the universe, and today I'm very excited to be part of this 20th National Congress, and I look forward to this great Congress. Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Wu Dajing. The April this year, the General Secretary granted us with the medals, and today, as a party delegates, it's my honor to join today's conference. Thank you. Now the floor is open to questions. First reporter is with CMG. Thank you. With the CMG, my question goes to Ms. Wang Yaping. You are the first person to teach a course from the space station, and also the first female taikonaut takes a spacewalk. And can you share with us some of your personal feelings and your expectations for China's future space exploration? As is known to all, 3 of my teammates are now on duty. And each time we heard this great news of the party and the country, it was great inspiration to us. I stepped in my first journey in 2013, and in the past 10 years, we have made major achievement in terms of the time of space missions. When the Shenzhou 5 was first launched, it was that time that my dream has been ignited. But at that time, I've never dreamed that I could teach a course to the kids from space. Right now, the first batch of students who listened to my courses have already become my teammates. I believe that my feeling is this great power of our times, and also the power of inheritance. And you asked me about the expectations. We believe that we are looking forward to more young people to join us. And China's space station will be fully completed, and we look forward to explore the universe with our foreign colleagues as well. Last but not least, I want to say that we ride our dreams to the universe and to the space, and we are always on the way. We are always ready to march on, to fly higher and fly farther, and to act according to our loyalty and duty to our party and people. Okay, next question. Thank you. With 人民 Daily. My question goes to Mr. Zhu Youyong. General Secretary Xi Jinping pointed out that our scientific researchers should base your research on the ground of China and to focus on the application of the technological research. So can you tell us more about your practice in this regard? Thank you for the question. I'd like to give an example in terms of technological innovation. After the village that I am in was got out of poverty, our grain has been shifted from coarse grain to rice, but we do not have any rice paddy as well. Therefore, the rice is not self-sufficient. To address that problem, we have successfully did a research in terms of planting rice on dry grounds. This is a major breakthrough in terms of rice production. The first priority that we focus on is to select the best variety that can fit the soil condition on dry grounds. And the second priority for us is to get rid of the grass on the dry lands. This is another technology that we had developed. This rice on dry ground is highly applauded by local people, and this year our yield reached 788 kilograms per mu, and a total of 500,000 mu have been developed, and we have realized self-sufficient that can feed all of the villages with our own production. So this kind of technology is our practice to act according to General Secretary Xi's instructions, and we will continue to forge ahead. Thank you. Next question. From Beijing Daily. Thank you. My question goes to Mr. Wu Dajing. Currently, we have 300 million people that are enjoying winter sports. And as the ambassador to promote winter sports, what do you think we should do to encourage more people to join? Thank you. We have more than 300 million people that participated in winter sports. 10 years ago, there were only less than 100 ice fields. Even professional athletes like me would have difficulty finding an ice fields 10 years ago. But currently, we have more than 1,500 ice fields. And also, in the past, all of my teammates are from the northeastern part of China, but currently we have teammates that have come from all parts of China. We now see that more people from the southern parts of China are enjoying winter sports, and some are from the desert area. And I also saw in an ice field in Mianyang of Sichuan province, I saw kids of 4 or 5 years old said hello to me, saying that they fell in love with winter sports after seeing our game, our competition. And we believe that in the future, we will be seeing more talents emerge from these young kids. And more champions will also emerge. And as a professional athlete, I will continue to fight for the honor for our country and also contribute to building China into a strong country in sports. And winter is coming, and I want to invite all of you to join me in winter sports. Thank you. Thank you all.
Now let's invite the second group of delegates. Welcome. Self-introduction. Delegate Jiang Lijuan, please. Hello everyone, my name is Jiang Lijuan. I am the Secretary of Party Branch of Xiajiang Village, Chun'an County, Zhejiang Province. General Secretary Xi Jinping used to have a contact point in Xiajiang Village when he was working in Zhejiang. So before today, my villagers asked me to report to General Secretary about the Xiajiang Village nowadays. It's really a modern version of dwelling in the Fuchun Mountains. We have changed from the previous cop wall, charcoal burning, and only half-year storage of grains. The girls wouldn't marry Xiajiang boys before, but now we have rural tourism, guest houses, fruits, vegetables, and incoming visitors. Everyone is missing General Secretary Xi. We hope that you could come back to Xiajiang Village for a talk. And we will always bear in mind the instructions of General Secretary Xi Jinping to build Xiajiang Village to be a commonwealth demonstration village. Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Sun Jinglong. I am the brigade commander of 71st Group of the PLA Ground Force. My group has 56 honored flags. I have participated in many rehearsals and exercises, and I was involved in international contests with 3 gold and 4 silver awards. And I am very proud to be here today, and I will double my efforts to sustain our honor and renew a new chapter of the PLA. Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Yu Ruofei. I come from Gansu Blue Sky Rescue Team. And this is a non-profit rescue institution composed of volunteers. In the past 1 decade, our group has grown from 3 people to over 1,000, and we've conducted over 900 rescue campaigns. We have left our footprint in the disaster relief and life rescue process. Over 70% of our members were born in the 1990s, and please be reassured, we are using our deeds to honor our commitments to our party. Thank you. Now the floor is open to questions and answers. Xinhua News Agency, please. Thank you. From Xinhua. And my question goes to Delegate Sun Jinglong. Since the 18th National Congress, China has been speeding up the building of the world-class PLA. You come from the grassroots level brigade, so what changes have you felt in person? Thank you for the question. It's really my honor to be part of these delegates. And I used to grow from just a normal soldier to be a commander. In the past 1 decade, under the influence of strengthening our army proposed by General Secretary Xi Jinping, we have taken on a new look. My impression is that we have firmer confidence and more resolute actions to be prepared for any fight, and we take solid steps towards a strengthened army. Also, we have reformed ourselves from traditional infantry to be armored force. We have more professional experience and flexible coordination with stronger capabilities. We have even upgraded our equipment. For example, 191 rifle, 21 type of camouflage clothing. Especially in September this year, our brigade has been equipped with a new type of crawler fighting vehicle. So the soldiers and officials are very proud of ourselves. In addition, we pay attention to cross-regional rehearsal, joint exercise, and international contests to train ourselves. Now, those soldiers born in the 1990s and 2000 have been growing up rapidly in such preparations. In one combat rehearsal last year, I took my brigade to conduct the on-field investigation, maintenance, and guarantee work. Finally, with the drone's help, we have precise coverage on the battlefield. So we could say that such reform has boosted our capacity of fighting, and I was honored to be one of the dream seekers in the journey of strengthening our army. I witnessed the process in person. For example, the vigorous development of preparations of the soldiers and the great development of PLA. Now, in this new era, we are burdened with new tasks. We have the confidence, decision, and capacity to conquer all difficulties and all opponents. Thank you. Next question, please. From Zhejiang TV. My question goes to Jiang Lijuan. As you mentioned, General Secretary Xi Jinping used to visit Xiajiang village on several occasions. So what is Xiajiang village been doing lately? And in the journey of village rejuvenation, what explorations have been done? Thank you for your concern with Xiajiang village. During General Secretary Xi Jinping's stay in Zhejiang province, he used to visit our fields in Xiajiang village for several times. He even go to the local farmer's house for a talk. I listened to the stories of General Secretary Xi when I was young, and the civilians in Xiajiang village have a habit that was to watch the news network every night so as to have a view of General Secretary Xi, listen to his words, and see what he has been doing, just like a family member. On April 24, 2003, General Secretary Xi paid his first visit to Xiajiang village. He saw the bare mountains and told us that we must wear a green hat on our mountains. And he has learned about the sewage and the flies, so guided us to build a biogas digester. He said that to build such a biogas digester, he is an expert and a professional. According to him, we embarked on green development pathway. In the past years, we have combined agriculture, tourism, and culture to blaze a new trail suitable to Xiajiang village and create a wealth for the villagers. In Xiajiang village, people's living standard has been boosted, and in 2010, their income has been raised up. It's about 14 times more of per capita disposable income compared to 12 years before. Many youngsters come back to Xiajiang village just like me. Every year we can get dividend from the village committee. And with 5G remote healthcare, we could get an appointment with the doctors from the provincial level big hospitals. So the common people in Xiajiang village are leading a better life. Now, we have extended our work. Together with the surrounding 24 villages, we jointly established such a joint party committee for village rejuvenation. With resource combination, we hope to create a Commonwealth alliance. For example, we have 4 pillar industries like tourism, sorghum, TCM, and agriculture specialties. We are also introducing our brand called the Big Xiajiang Village to add the added value of agricultural products. So such a Commonwealth establishment has allowed the Commonwealth to increase their income by 10% year on year. Such achievements in Xiajiang village are, in true sense, shared by the common people here. Now, we are trying to replicate this Xiajiang model, from Xiajiang to the big Xiajiang Commonwealth, from leading the way of creating wealth to enjoying commonwealth. We are grateful, and we will use the actual deeds to repay our party and our General Secretary Xi. Thank you. Next question, please.
请中国新闻社记者提问。
From China News Service.
谢谢中新社中新网记者提问。我的问题想提给于若
My
飞代表。
question comes to
您刚刚介绍自己来
Yu
自
Ruofei.
一个公益
According to your
救援机构
introduction, you
能
come
否
from
介
a
绍一下
non-profit
这个队
rescue
伍是由什么
institution.
样的人
Could
组成
you
的？
share with us
然后
about the
您也提到
composition of
其
this
中只有
team?
0后
And as you
占比超过
mentioned,
70%。
over
那么在您看来，
70% are
新
born
时代
in
年轻人
1990s.
应该
So,
有什
in
么
your
样的
perspective,
责任
what
和担当？谢谢。
responsibilities are taken by the youngsters in this new era? Thank you for the question. As I mentioned, we're a team of volunteers. The majority of the members have their full-time job. But since we share aspirations and ideals, every time when a disaster breaks out, it's like an assembly. We will gather together to contribute ourselves. I've participated in Ya'an earthquake in Sichuan, Ludian earthquake in Yunnan, and Nepal earthquake for rescue. We have rescued 81 survivors and treated 600 more people. One most biggest impression of me was that in one earthquake rescue campaign, one survivor was under a beam, so someone must transfer him from behind to the beam. But the aftermath is still ongoing. The youngsters are very scared. I hesitated, but since I am a CPC member, I have to step up. So I crawled in the ruins, and everyone applauded for me. At that moment, I felt so proud of being a CPC member. And I was aware of the responsibility of a party member. Even in face of a test of life or death, I must be daring and take the responsibility. Now, in the field of nonprofit rescue, more youngsters and volunteers are joining force. People born in the 1990s, 2000 are becoming the mainstay in all industries. Last year, there was a famous TV series called The Awakening Era. I was so impressed by the TV. Many party members, even younger than I am, could be able to dedicate themselves for the nation. Now we are living in this new era, so youngsters of this generation must share that aspiration to undertake the responsibilities and missions bestowed on us by this era. Thank you. Thank you, our young delegates. Thank you for your youthful expression, allowing us to feel the charm of our party with 100 years of history. Now the next group of delegates, please.
Please give brief short self-instructions of yourselves. Good morning, everyone. I'm Zhou Wei. I'm the secretary of the CPC Kunshan Municipal Community, and this must be a familiar place for you because we are on the top 100 county for the past 10 years in China. And not only did we develop our skill in terms of industry, but also have optimized the structure of our industries. And currently, more than 50% of the industries are emerging industries. And we also are seeing greener environment. And this is the birthplace for Kunqu. Not only do we have Kunqu, we also have invited 348 traditional operas to perform here. So this strong economy and well of people and beautiful environment is our new landscape in Kunshan. Hello everyone, I'm Yang Yu. I'm from the birthplace of the CPC, the memorial of the first CPC National Congress, so it is our honor to work at the Memorial Center. And General Secretary Xi Jinping pointed out that all of our party history start from the first CPC Congress. Therefore, it's important for us to tell the CPC story from its birthplace. I consider myself extremely lucky. In my 22 years of working experience, I've been telling the revolutionary stories and the culture of the CPC, and standing here, I also feel more happy and fortunate to be the person to tell the stories from Shikumen of Shanghai to Tiananmen of Beijing, from telling about the Congress to participating in the Congress. And I believe that this Congress will be a source of inspiration to me as well. Thank you. Hello everyone, I'm Lin Zhanxi. I am the Chief Scientist of China National Engineering Research Center of Juncao Technologies, and from 1983 I start to do research in terms of edible mushrooms, also known as Juncao. And with the attention of General Secretary Xi Jinping, the Juncao technology has become a more national and even global technology that can be applied worldwide. And it became the first industry in terms of Fujian, Ningxia poverty alleviation effort and helping 17,500 households to get rid of poverty, and is known as the key to wealth and happiness to the local people, and also contribute to ecological production and high-quality development in the Yellow River reaches. And also, we have disseminated this technology to foreign countries to help them with their poverty alleviation efforts. Right now, 106 countries are already benefiting from this technology. The 20th National Congress will be our new beginning to keep our work. Now the floor is open to questions. First question from Economic Daily. Thank you. My question goes to Mr. Zhou Wei. Can you tell us more about the economic situation of Kunshan this year? And we heard rumors concerning the retreat of foreign capital and funds. So does that happen in Kunshan? Thank you so much for your question. You asked about the possible retreat of foreign capital. I want to share a story with you. Not long ago, a photovoltaic enterprises had made a second-term investment of 1.8 billion USD on top of the 1.3 billion USD first-term investment. And August this year, we have met our national target in terms of foreign investment. Besides, the total trade volume of our county, of our city, is expected to reach 100 billion USD, and we are hopeful to get to the top 15 of all the cities in China. So what is our biggest attraction? What is our biggest highlight in terms of attracting foreign capital? We believe it is because we have a very full-fledged industrial chain. We account for 1/3 of the global laptop market. This is attributable to our full-fledged industrial chain. Currently, we are building the new smart industrial chain. We focus on the top enterprises and give them more resources and factors so as to create favorable conditions for them to settle down. Not long ago, we helped a top enterprise in terms to give them to speed up their process of getting the license to help them get a very big order worth of 20 billion. And currently, we are now working on digital economy in terms of strengthening our industry and prioritize in terms of industrial chains. Despite the complicated international situations, we are gaining more and more trust from overseas investors and companies, and more foreign foreign enterprises are increasing their investment and expand their businesses here. Thank you. Next question. With China News Daily.
谢谢主持人。
Thank
中国
you.
青年报、中国青年网记者提问杨宇代表。
The question goes
请问作
to
为红
Ms.
色场馆的
Yang
党
Yu.
史教育工
So
作者，
as a staff of a revolutionary center at the Memorial Hall of the First CPC National Congress, can you tell us some of the stories in your work and how to attract more young people to pay visits to the Memorial Center? Thank you. I think it's important for us to educate people of our history in order to have more knowledge of the present and more expectations for the future. I had an experience to share with you. Last year, on June the 16th, I received a group of foreign visitors, including ambassadors from 40 different countries. So I tell the stories about Marxism and some of the efforts and causes of the CPC. And when talking about the moderately well-off society, a lot of people applauded for me. And after the visit, in private conversations, ambassador from Gabon said that the CPC always put the people first, and they do all that they can to give the people better life. And the Albania ambassador mentioned that there are no other Marxist party that is as successful as the CPC. So I came to realize that that applause is for the CPC. I think our story is greatly influential worldwide, so it's our duty to share with the world a more truthful and comprehensive image of the CPC. In terms of attracting more young audience, young visitors to come to the center, I believe that it's important to build this kind of reciprocity. I think the ones that are telling the stories should, listening to the story should be the ones that tells the story. We did a research. In the past 5 years, more and more young people are paying visits to our Memorial Center. Especially last year, the visitors under the age of 35 is increased by 23.6%. I think the revolutionary culture is becoming more and more appealing to the young people, and we are also keeping up with the times to seek new ways in terms including live streaming, sitcom, and short videos, and these are our new forms and platforms to tell the stories of the party well, and so that more people can understand the spirit of the CPC. We believe that revolutionary culture can be inherited and can be also carried on. Thank you. Next question. Next question from China Daily.
好，谢谢主持人。中国日报记者提问。
Thank you. With
我的问题
China
是想提
Daily.
给
My
林振
question
熙代
goes
表的。
to Mr.
您
Lin
是电视剧《
Zhanxi.
山海情》农业专
You
家的原
were
型。如今军草技
the
术不仅让
expert
闽民镇的老百
the
姓脱贫致
prototype
富，而且推
character
广到了
from the
106
TV
个
series
国家和
Shanghai
地
Qing,
区。
and
一
the
带一路沿
technology
线的
of
很多国
Juncao
家都因
not
为
only
军草摆
help
脱了贫困。
the
我的问题是在这个过程
the
中
poverty
有什么
stricken
能让您
areas
难忘
in
的故事与我们
Ningxia,
分享吗？
but
谢谢。
also help a lot of countries and regions among the Belt and Road Initiative. So can you tell us more about some of the stories? Thank you. I think in terms of the globalization of Juncao technology, in our first step, we are in Papua New Guinea, and 20 years ago, this place is
如何让他们
still
掌握
experiencing,
军曹
still
这一
in the midst
现
of
代
this
生活技术，
tribal
这
economy.
是我们遇到的
And
一大难
it's
题。
great challenge for us
我们
to
因地制宜，
help them to
因肉
learn
就解，
modern
把技术
technologies such as
本土化、
Junchao technologies.
简便化，
So it's important
让村
for
民
us to
一看就懂，
simplify and
一学就
localize
会，
the
一做
technology
就成，
so
获
that
得成
more
果。
people can have easy access
他们为
to
了
this
庆
technology.
祝军
I
曹技术
believe
示范
that
成
on
功，
the celebration
举行了
ceremony to
非常隆重的
this
现
technology,
场会，国家总督
we
9名
have witnessed
9
the
位部长
ministers of the local
5000多
government
人从
and
全国各地
their
赶来参会，
chief executive
他们载歌载舞，
joined this
高
this
呼
celebration,
China,
and they were
军曹，
singing and
China.
enchanting China and
为了
Juncao,
记住
Juncao and
来
China.
自中国的帮助，一位部长把自己女儿的名
In
字
order to remember
改叫
this
军曹，
assistance from
而
China,
且
one of the
特地
ministers even changed
公
the
布
name of his daughter into
此后
Juncao.
从南太到非洲，
And since
到拉
then, more and more
许多人通过
people
种军
from
草，
South
种菇
Pacific,
养
from
殖
Africa
摆
and
脱了
Latin
贫困
America
改变了他
have
们的命运。
shaken off poverty
到
and
目前为
live
止，
a well of life
我们为
through the
发展中国
raising
家
of the mushrooms
培
in
养了军草
Juncao.
技术骨干，
We have also
12000
conducted
多人。
training,
培养
and
军
out
草
of
留
these
学
training
生，
courses, there
在
are
14类。
more than
他们把
12,000
军草技术
people that graduate
翻
from
译
this
成
course.
18种
We
文字，
also have
在各地传播。
trained 24
他们在
overseas
实
students
践
in
军
this
草理想，
specialty.
他们在
The technology
为
has
自
been
己国家服务，
translated into 18
同时
languages.
为人类服务。
These talents are helping their own
2017
country and
年
people now
军草技
to
术
live a well
在
of life.
中国联合
In
国和平
2017,
发展
Juncao technology
基金重
has
点项
been
目
listed
列为重点项目，
as one of the major projects
正在为落
of
实
China
联合国
UN Peaceful Development
2030
Fund.
年可持
And
续
we
发
are
展议程。
contributing to
贡
the
献中国智
2030
慧、
UN
中国力量。
SDG.
谢谢大家
And。this is our China's
谢谢
wisdom
林老。
and China
就
plan.
像刚
Thank
刚
you.
这位记者朋友提到的，林占喜代表
As
是电视
mentioned,
剧《山海经》
Mr.
中
Lin
农技专家的原
was
型。
the
而今年
prototype
年近
of
80
an
的林老啊，
agriculture
党龄已经超
expert
过
in the TV
56年
series,
了。
and he
我们
has
也借
over
此机会向我们
56
的老党
years
员
of
表达敬
history
意。
as
再
a
次感
party
谢我们这
member.
一组的
So
3位党
my
代
honor
表，
goes
谢
to
谢你
you.
们，谢谢。
Thank you again.
好，我们请上下一组党代表，
Now
有
let's
请。
invite the next group of delegates.
"好，我们请这一组的3位党代表先做一个自我介
Please
绍。
do your
我们从
self-introduction.
祖利亚代表先开始，请。
大家好，
Hello
我叫
everyone.
祖利亚提
My name is
司马懿，
Suliati
是喀
Simai,
什大学党委
and I
书
am the
记
Deputy
副校
Party
长
Secretary and
我
Vice
生长
President
在
of Kashgar
新疆
University.
从北京
I
大
grew
学
up in
博士毕业
Xinjiang.
之后
Ever since my
怀揣着
graduation from
建设
Peking
力量的
University as
信念
a doctorate
回到
degree
家乡
holder,
成为
with the
一名高
faith
校的教
of
师
building the
希望
border,
把
I
知识的
came
力
back to
量
my
传递
hometown
下
to be
去
a university teacher so as
过
to
去
pass
10
on the
年
knowledge.
对新疆
In the
发
past
生的
one
巨大
decade,
变化我感同
As to the
身受。我
transformations
曾多
in
次参加
Xinjiang,
联合
I
国人
could
权
feel
理事
it.
会
For many
向世
times,
界讲述真实的
on the
新疆
occasion of the UN
真相
Human
击
Rights
破那
Council,
些
I've been
负面的
telling the
谎
stories
言
of a
和
real
谎言
Xinjiang to
能够当选
combat
为
all
党代
those
表
malicious
来到北
rumors
京
and
参加这次
discredit of
庄严
Xinjiang.
的会议
To
我
be
深感
able to be
荣幸
here for this
我将
solemn
和
session,
所有教
I
育
am
工作
deeply
者
honored.
一起
Together
为
with all the
建设
other
教育强
educators,
国
I
继续
will
奋斗
work hard
谢
to
谢大家
build an education-based, strong country. Thank you.
大家好，我是
Hello everyone.
来自于
My name is Ting
内
Butter.
蒙古锡林郭勒盟的大草原。
I
我
come
在
from the
嘎
grassland
查
of Inner
担任了
Mongolia,
40多年的嘎查书记和嘎查长
and I have
好多人
been
问
the
我，
secretary
一个将
for
军的孩子
4 decades
怎么会在
in Gachar.
牧区
Many people
一
ask
待
me,
就是48年？
as a son of a commander,
我
how
19
could I be
岁
stationed
来到了
here
牧区，
for
到
48
了嘎查以
years?
后啊，
I
看到
came
我们嘎
here
查的牧
in
民
the
生活
pasture
得
land
很艰难，
since I was 19
条
years
件很
old.
差。
When I first
我们
arrived,
当时没有公
I
路，
saw how hard
也没有
the
电，
local herdsmen
也没有
were
通信。
living. There were no roads, no electricity, no telecommunication services. 90% of the children here haven't been to school. Once, I took back a radio after my business trip, and in the leisure time, all the herdsmen came to my house to listen to the radio and the stories from it. It struck me that I should be rooted in this grassland so as to build it into a beautiful place together with the locals. We must protect the pasture ecology and allow the herdsmen to live a better life. Years later, we built a new road and introduced electricity services, and we also built the signal tower for the mobile phones. Children of herdsmen gradually went to school. Many of them have already graduated from the university, and they came back. I told them that we must allow technology to empower grazing so that there will be better ecology in the grassland and the locals will live a wealthier life. So now many herdsmen are using the drones for grazing, and in their computers they can see the cow and sheep on the pasture remotely. They could use the remote control on their cell phone to fetch water autonomously. And also, the weeding process is being machine-based. To be here, to participate in the 20th National Congress of CPC, I am very pleased. It is a great encouragement to me to stay here in the grassland, and I would be more than happy to take the herdsmen to protect our ecology so that the herdsmen could live a wealthier life. That is my initial mission. Thank you. Thank you, Tim Butter. You are very humble. Many media friends may have covered his stories. Last year, he won the highest honor of our party, the July 1st medal. And standing right next to him, Delegate Yang Ning from Miao ethnicity is also a person representative of poverty alleviation efforts. Welcome. Hello everyone, my name is Yang Ning. I come from Rongshui Miao Autonomous County of Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region. I graduated since 2010 and came back to my hometown to be a village official as a college graduate. Jiangmen Village is a poverty-stricken village. It was poor. So the first day on my arrival, I thought, what can I do for this village? Over the years, I helped the villagers to sell their bamboo and lead them to grow peppers and the roots of kudzu vine, but it was nothing more than a failure. Villagers questioned me, what can a little girl do? I was sad, and I was at a loss. I cried for long, but then it dawned on me that I was still young. Even if I fail, I could still get up on my feet. It's no big deal. So in 2017, I invited the poverty-stricken households to grow the rice, special in the mountainous areas. I even sell my house for my wedding's purpose and buy the rice, ducks, and fish and give them for free to the villagers. We had a bumper year, and we finally got rid of poverty. Sincere dedication helped me to win the hearts of the villagers. In 2020, I was appointed as the party secretary of the village. In the past 12 years, per capita income of Jiangmen Village has increased by 15 times, and I have become the backbone of the village, instead of just an innocent college graduate. And I was even awarded by General Secretary Xi Jinping. I was encouraged and inspired. Youth is glowing because of the hardship we endure, and I will continue to be stationed in the Miao ethnicity and make more efforts to make the Miao Mountains more beautiful, the Miao villages wealthier, and the Miao people happier. Thank you. And in the interest of time, this group of delegates will receive only one question. CGTN. My question goes to Julia T. Simai. Since for long, you were in the business of education in Xinjiang, and you've told stories of Xinjiang in the United Nations. So, what are the changes and stories in Xinjiang that impress you the most? Thank you for the question. Not long ago, I came back from Geneva. As a Chinese scholar, I was in Geneva for the Human Rights Council to tell the stories and changes in Xinjiang. In the past 1 decade, the annual gross product in Xinjiang has doubled, and per capita disposable income has doubled as well. That's a record high. And people of all ethnicities in Xinjiang are enjoying a stable, safer, and more developed, happier life. For many people, those might just be abstract concepts and data, but for me, who has been grown up here, those are tangible changes we have followed for long. In Wensu County, Aksu, there is a girl called Rukyam Abdur-Im. After graduation from the junior high, she learned embroidery in a local vocational school. Then, in Urumqi, she served as an apprentice in a clothing factory. Now, she came back to hometown to start up her own business. Under the national policy, financial and technological support, she founded her own plant of embroidery and lead the local women to embroider their colorful life. Maybe from the angle of education, it's more convincing. In the past 1 decade, education quality has been elevated in Xinjiang. We are writing the stories of how knowledge is changing destinies. Over the years, an increasing number of children are going elsewhere for education. And likewise, more students from other provinces are coming to Xinjiang to complete their studies. In one dorm, you may find students of different ethnicities. They're enjoying their time together. For example, in Kashgar University, where I am working now, if you visit the canteen in our campus, there are multiple offerings of cuisines. Some might be the newly sought-after places for the influentials. And in the past 1 decade, the disciplinary change can also reflect the transformation in Xinjiang. Linguistics, e-commerce, logistics, and other disciplines are being popular lately. That's because the National Development Strategy has put Xinjiang in the front line of openness. Instead of an inland province, relying on our unique resources, industries, geographical location, and culture, Xinjiang has become an important logistics hub and a talents and assets concentration place along the BRI initiative. As an educator, I witness how tens of thousands of graduates are leading their life here in Xinjiang, and I am so relieved. There are a lot more similar stories around me. Welcome to visit the real Xinjiang, and I'm convinced that the future of Xinjiang will be better. We welcome you here to be our guests. Thank you. As Zulia has mentioned, we hope that more media friends could come to see the real Xinjiang in person. Thank you again, Zulia T, and Tim Butter from Inner Mongolia, and Yang Ning from Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region. Thank you, you three.
Now the next group of delegates, please. So self-introductions first, please. And starting from Wang Xudong. Hello, everyone. I am Wang Xudong from the Palace Museum. In 1991, I worked at the Mogaoku, or as the curator, and after working there for 8 years, I came to the Palace Museum to guard another important intangible cultural heritage of China. And in the 19th National Congress, I represent Dunhuang. And this year, I represent the Palace Museum. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Qian Suyun. I'm a pediatrician from the Pediatric Intensive Care of Beijing Children's Hospital, also known as the ICU, the last defense line against death that protects people's life, and also known as the special force in hospitals. I've been working in this area for more than 39 years. With my teams, we saved the lives of more than 20,000 kids. And it's my honor to join the 20th National Congress. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I am Xie Chuntao, the Vice President of Party School of the CPC Central Committee. And 5 years ago, I participated in the 19th National CPC National Congress, and it's my honor to join the Party Congress again this year. Thank you. Now the floor is open to questions. First question from the reporter of Guangming Daily. My question goes to Ms. Qian Su-yun. So the PICU work is of high risk and high intensity. A lot of young people will be hesitating when choosing their specialty. How do you think we should attract more young talents to join this career and this cause? Thank you for the question. As you mentioned, pediatrics is a very comprehensive school in medicine because it deals with the children's group and it concerns the disease of all of the physical systems. Take our hospital, for example. We have more than 40 clinical specialties, so it's a very big discipline. From another regard, we cannot treat the children as simply as a small version of the adults. I think there are several characters to this specialty. First is that their development of the disease might change in a second. And second is that some kids have difficulty describing precisely their symptoms. And currently, the development of China's pediatrics still has room for development. But we have made major improvement over the past years, especially since the 18th National Congress. We are seeing an increase in numbers of children's hospital as well as pediatricians. For example, the PICU where I am in could only be found in major cities and big hospitals in the past. But in the past 10 years, we are seeing more and more PICU established in some local hospitals, and this would help the children to be better treated, especially when they are in dire situation. We have also established China's Pediatrician Center and the Regional Pediatric Center so that the local hospitals can also improve their capacity in terms of treatment and diagnosis for the kids. We believe that in the future, with the development of our sector and also the provincial policies applied to our sector, more and more young people will find this job, find this specialty appealing. Thank you. Next question. This report is from Argentina. My question goes to Mr. Wang Xudong. You mentioned that it's important for us to build a platform to connect the relics with the museums and to enhance the understanding between different nations and ethnic groups. So, what are your thoughts in terms of strengthening cultural communication in the new era? Thank you. Thank you so much for that question and your interest in relics and cultural heritage protection. I think my answer has a lot to do with my own work. In the past 30 years, as a guardian of the relics, as I mentioned, I began my work in Gansu Dunhuang in 1991, and I consider myself a guardian of this important cultural relics. And the development of this grotto is actually a essence of the Buddhism culture as well as the Chinese culture. I think it's a major manifestation of the inclusiveness of the Chinese culture, because the Buddhism originates from India, but it has become localized, highly localized in China. And after leaving the Mogao Caves, I came to the Palace Museum. We know that this palace was built during the Ming and Qing dynasty, and it's home to many cultural relics and its embodiment of the 5,000 years of history in China. And from these relics, we see that China is a big family with people of different ethnic groups and cultural backgrounds, and the communication and exchanges between the different groups is the key to the consistency of the Chinese civilizations over the thousands of years of history. And this is also what makes us still so livable and so vigorous even after thousands of years. This diversity of culture is our key to that. Therefore, I believe that as a guardian of the relics, I've participated in a lot of international symposiums concerning the protection of cultural relics, and I communicated with the colleagues from all over the world, and they came all the way to China to participate in the effort of the protection of cultural heritages. The reason why they would go all the way is that these cultural relics are also embodiment of the mutual values of the humanities as well. I think it is our duty to seek common grounds while reserving differences. Mutual understanding is our priority. I believe that once there was an American expert saying that I will leave one day, but you will be here forever because you are the host of this place. But we hope that we can work together to carry out the experiment. But even after 30 years, they will come to the Mogao Caves every year. The reason why they are so persistent as well, I think it is thought-provoking, because we've found a common purpose as cultural heritage protectors. To protect the cultural heritage is to protect this kind of common treasure of the world and contribute to world peace. I visited many museums across the world, and each time I go to a different place, I discover that the relics are not only an object, they are the carrier of the local history and culture. So it is important for museums to carry out conversations as well. I think it is our way to seek common grounds. And reserve our differences, set aside our differences. This should be our common cause and central concept and principle that we should follow. I think the Palace Museum carries major duty on its shoulder in terms of preserving and protect China's China's cultural heritage. We are building ourselves into a center of cultural communication and tourism. Our mission cannot be fulfilled by ourselves, so we call for participants and participation across all walks of life, from home and abroad. This is our major perspective and aspiration. We have made some initial plans based on our past experiences and some of the best practices that we had in the past. For example, in terms of curation, we are planning to work with other museums to exchange cultural heritage for exhibitions. We are also planning to curate some cross-cultural exhibitions. Second, in terms of academic exchanges, we have successfully held 5 Asian exhibition of Asian cultures. We are hoping that the scholars from different parts of the world would also come to join this forum to share with us their civilizations and cultures as well. General Secretary Xi Jinping pointed out on multiple occasions that it's important for us to absorb the essence of different civilizations and cultures from the world. This is also our working principle.
Third, cultural exchange. It's a mutual way people-to-people exchange. We have a Taihe plan. For the young scholars in the Palace Museum, we encourage them to go global, to visit the cultural institutions, museums, and universities for more academic exchange with our counterparts internationally. We will share the Chinese stories with them. And in return, we invite scholars of all countries to visit the Palace Museum for research. From their perspective, what's their take on the 5,000 years of civilization showcased in the Palace Museum? So we share our stories in mutual ways. I believe that such a storytelling method will be helpful for our communication and mutual understanding. Academically, that will help to strengthen our people-to-people confidence and even faith in nations. And for all the suspicions and differences, we could gradually diffuse them. And more importantly, we respect different civilizations, customs, and even the diversity of culture and religions. Besides, Palace Museums have 2 training institutions about the Society of Cultural Relic Protection, for example. Through those 2 institutions, we can help to cultivate the talents in this field. And scholars from all other countries can be trained here on this platform. They could get some idea of Chinese culture. In the training course, scholars from different backgrounds can learn each other's culture and find our similarities. Of course, we can reserve our own differences. So we start from the training of youth. In that way, cultural exchange and cultural relic protection will help the museums and culture to give better play because after all, museums are like the bridge between the past, present, and future. It's regretful that I've never been to Argentina or South America. I've been looking forward to visit there because Argentina has very unique culture, and I will surely treasure any opportunity if I get it to visit the South American countries like Argentina. And also I welcome our media friends to visit the Palace Museum. We invite you to understand the fine traditional Chinese culture exhibited in the Palace Museum. Of course, against the backdrop of the pandemic, we need to make an appointment online. There will be a limit of visitors every day. In the future, one ticket can't even be bought or appointed in the future, but that's okay. We have the digital museum. You could go into our applet of Palace Museum to visit the digital museum. Of course, if you have any questions, you can call our hotline 400 to ask for help. 400-950-1925. Thank you. Thank you, Delegate Wang Xudong. I myself is a fan of traditional Chinese culture, especially the Palace Museum culture. Not long ago, there was an exhibition about the study room in ancient China in the Palace Museum. And also you have held a lot of the Dunhuang-related culture. And there will be many cross-cultural exhibitions as well to be staged in the Palace Museum. We are looking forward to it. Next question, please. From Economist. Hello, I am a reporter from The Economist, and I have a question. How will history record this year's 20th National Congress of CPC? That's a very good question with historical sense. I've been studying the history of the CPC, and I reviewed our previous national congresses and their role in the reform and opening up process. Ever since 1978, the Communist Party of China has held 8 national congresses of the CPC. In the 8 sessions, there have been many major decisions. For example, the selection of the Central Committee has been very helpful to boost China's reform and opening up in an efficient way, as well as the modernization process. Those sessions are the platform for the CPC to lead all Chinese people to build a well-loved society in an all-round way. Today, all party members and people of all ethnicities in China have already embarked on the new journey of building a modernized country in the socialist era, and we are now marching toward the second centenary goal. So at this critical moment, we are holding the 20th CPC National Congress. According to the published agenda and arrangement during the session, I think this National Congress will be significant in at least 3 ways. That means it will be recorded in history from 3 perspectives. First of all, the report of the 20th National Congress will be beneficial for the development of China in the next 5 years or even longer. I was involved in the solicitation of this report, and I dare say that the drafting, the opinion solicitation, and improvement of the draft have been carefully prepared. The central government has been fully prepared for this report, and the efforts made towards that goal have really been seen in other parties. Ever since we determined the date of the National Congress, we started the solicitation of the agenda, and people from all circles of lives have studied the major topics to be discussed in the National Congress for the deliberation of the central government. And ever since the draft of the report has come out, there is another round of solicitation of opinion, and also the Political Bureau Conference has amended that draft again. And then there was a second round of opinion solicitation. I have to say that the number of people involved in such opinion solicitation exceeded 4,700. Also, not long ago, the 7th plenary session of the 19th CPC was held, and it deliberated this draft again. And I was part of the members in that conference. The discussion has been full, and every present member has the opportunity to propose their revising suggestions to the central government. For some very important opinions, they were accepted timely by the central government. After the 7th plenary session was concluded, almost every member agreed that there was no more recommendation at all because the draft was well prepared enough. So I believe this report is very thorough and profound. And the 20th National Congress will play a leading role in China's development, and it will help to usher in a faster, more steady, and better modernized country. And secondly, in this session, we will revise the CPC chapter. And as you know, we attached great importance to that task. There have been 20 conferences among the party members just for that purpose. Almost every party conference will shoulder on the task of the revision of the party chapter. So the history of CPC has been witnessed by the chapters. The important theories, decisions, systems, and regulations will be timely reflected and enshrined in the chapters in order to guide the activities of the party members, and the party organizations of all levels included. So it took us a long time in the revision. Personally, I feel that the revision has been very complete and full. It will help us to have comprehensive governance of the party in this new era, and there will be a series of regulations accordingly. After the revision, it will also help to standardize the development of the party. And the CPC will be guided by the party constitution to be the core of the Chinese undertakings and all Chinese people. Third, in this session, we will produce the new round of Central Committee. And the whole world has been putting their sight on this topic. As to the selection of cages, the CPC has over 100 years of efforts and practices. We have accumulated a pile of experience. So we've come to a complete set of standardized and effective mechanism in that regard. I myself am familiar with the history of the CPC, and in the recent 2 decades, I had many opportunities to engage with the other parties. For example, some major parties in the UK, I once got in contact with them, and I feel that among all the parties in the world, there is no one party like the CPC that attaches so much importance to the selection and appointment of cages. We observe scientific and precise principles. We select the most representative, excellent members, and it's really seen in the foreign parties. I used to be a delegate of the 19th National Congress as well, and now a delegate of the 20th National Congress. So I can say that this result has been hard-won. And the party members in my entity must have their confidence in me. They must recommend me. And the number must be the majority. Otherwise, I could never be a delegate. And also, the opinion must be submitted to the upper level party organization for more check. If I have any problem, for example, in terms of the anti-corruption efforts, I must live up to the requirements. Otherwise, I may fail as a delegate. Also, there must be several rounds of party-related conferences for the selection. And such a selection must be based on a competitive base.
And about 15% in terms of competitiveness, that means about 15% of the nominated person will not be elected. So those that are finally elected are the best of the best. And after I became a substitute delegate for the 19th National Congress, I learned that you need to go through several rounds of nominations before being elected. And about 150 delegates were not finally elected as delegates because there are more than 160 alternate delegates, but out of them, about 150 will not be made official delegates for the 20th Party Congress. It is not because they are not capable. It is because that we only choose the best out of the best. We need to make sure that the delegates that are elected should be the best representatives of the people. And we have full confidence that we will choose the new leaders, the new party central committee that can represent our interests. I believe that through my explanations in the past, the 20th National Congress of the CPC will become an important step for us to realize national rejuvenation. Thank you.
好的，谢谢谢春涛代表，也
Thank
再次
you,
感谢我们
Mr.
这一
Xie
组的
Chuntao.
3位党代表，
And
谢谢你
our
们，谢谢。
thanks also goes to all of the
好，各位记者朋友，我们今
delegates.
天的党代表通道
Thank
采
you.
访
That's
活
all
动
for
就到这里
today's
了。
delegates
在
corridor.
通道活动的进行当中呢，大家也看到代表们在陆续的入场。
We can see
我
that
想
a lot
宣
of
传现场的
the
各位记者同
delegates
行
are
能够更加强
walking
烈地感受
into
到代表
the
们对20大
conference
胜
room,
利召开的热切
and
期待。
we are about
后
to
面我们还
witness
会有
the
第二场
opening
党
of the
代表通道采访
20th
活动，我们到
National
时再见。
Congress, and we will later be arranging a second delegates corridor today. Thank you.